I got a mic check. Hi, Mr. Glatt. So, I want to be honest with you. I totally procrastinated on the HR project, at least on this one. Um, when I started to do it I started doing it on Sunday. I was looking at material. I was like, I mean, this is kind of a lot, but it wasn't like too much. I was like, I could have easily started to do this. Maybe I was just like scared, maybe confused at some parts, and I could have easily just emailed you, and I know you would have gave feedback to me. I don't know why I don't do that, and I don't know why probably maybe other students don't do that. I don't know. It's a weird phenomenon, I think. But just want to be open and honest with you. If you don't give me any points on this, I mean, I completely understand. Like, I'm not gonna get mad of getting 0 points on this. But if you do give me some points, I mean, like, hey, I really appreciate it though. So in this project, I decided to make a twist and do like I guess a video about it. I may not. There were still some parts where I was kind of like confused of like what to do. I maybe some things I was like overthinking it and I kind of gave up. Another one of those reasons why I could have easily just emailed you about it. So some of the parts it's not really like either it's off or maybe not fully completed, or some parts I did pretty good. I don't really know. So my restaurant, if I was to own one, I guess it's called Lake Erie Grill, and I'm doing a position of front of the house. I need a front of the house managers. So I know for the first part was to do 2 ads. These are really the 2 I did not really. I don't think I fully did like the character parts, like have like this amount of words, and one of them. Because I was like rushing trying to get it done because of my procrastination. But on this first slide I got here, I have Lake Erie Grilling is hiring front of the house managers needed. Hiring reliable, dependable, experienced front of the house managers. Must be able to be great with the customers. Have great customer service. Sorry. While in like busy situations, our goal is to give our, or I guess my goal is to give our guests the best experience. I think that part I could have elaborate a bit more about the goals. I guess I could have elaborate a little bit more on the hiring reliable part there too. I said pay rate starts between 20 and 25 an hour. This is my supposed like second ad, nowhere near close to 3,500 characters. I think the first one's even closer to, not even close, but more closer to that. As I was reading the instructions, once again, could have asked you for help, just emailed you, and not, procrastinate. Obviously, not procrastinate on it. And I think I would have done a lot better with this. So the second one is, it's not just an ad. It's not just a, oh my gosh. It's not just a job. It's a career. Lake Erie Grill is now hiring front of the house managers, 20 an hour. I should put start 20 an hour. Could I elaborate a lot more in this ad that I'm seeing right now. So next I have my 5 questions. So the first one is, do you have any management experience? I think that is a good question. It don't really have to be, me personally, doesn't have to be in like the food like industry. It doesn't have to be straight, but do you have like any like management experience? So I really think like any management experience can carry on to different industries, because you have an idea of like, okay, this is how you run your floor, or this is how you run your day. Second one is, do you have any long-term goals? I would think there is a goal in mind of you working here. I understand it's not just like for the money and just to pay the bills. But I think like, what is your long-term goals? Are you trying to, is this like a job that you're holding on to until you're like, for is this job helping you to get towards your goals? I think that'd be an interesting question to ask. Now this is like I guess it's like my kind of question, especially like from working at McDonald's. How do you handle like situations, or how do you handle stress? I think I have my question during peak rush. I think that's a very important question, I would say, especially in a management position. Since like for me, I'm doing in a restaurant, but even from like my experience with McDonald's, like how do you handle all that? Or when the excuse me, when the customers are being like whatever, being frustrating, like how do you handle that situation? And what if you're like your employees are getting stressed out? How do you help them? You know what I mean? So that's a important question, I would say. I think this is like one of the common questions, like what are your strengths? Like, in certain situations, what are your strengths? What are you good at, basically? And I kind of answered number five from number three, but my fifth question is, are you able to be patient with your new trainees and your employees? Are you patient with them? Are you gonna, if they're doing something wrong, are you gonna like step in and like give them tips and help them through? Or are you just gonna get mad and annoyed that they're messing up right now and just like not helping them all? I think that's a important question for a management position. Next, we have the ad costs. So from the instructions I saw, you did like Cleveland.com. What was like 596, I think it was, something like that. So I kind of just estimate up to 600 on here, because I kind of round up for costs, I would say. But we started with 1500, and so I subtracted 600 from Cleveland.com, or that package, and we were left with 900. So I was doing research, like how to put ads on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, because that's what normally nowadays people are more apt to like see, and it's very expensive. But I was looking at it. I decided to do YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok all together. I'm not gonna break it out too much, but all together it was like $840, and then I was left with like 140 left from the 900. I was left with 140, and then I was going to use that 140 going towards like culinary events, having my own table for culinary events, making flyers for those times. So I was going to use that for that. So orientation checklist. I am kind of from McDonald's, that what I work with. I'm kind of a little bit familiar with orientation. With that, not reading chapter, I think it's chapter 3. When I was reading chapter 3, with employee orientation and training, there's a lot more. It's a lot more that goes to it. At least that what my job is actually doing. But there's a lot more to it, and I was really like interested in it. So I was using from chapter 3. Orientation checklist. I think that was a really good strategy to use. I think orientation checklist. So like for day one, which I have, is it's the initial orientation meeting. I think obviously making sure they're clocked in, so they're making money while they're learning the position. Obviously filling out paperwork. Discussing responsibility, and then their benefits and scheduling on the very first day, and then give them the employee handbook so they have time to read it over. Day 2 is the tour of the building, so they know where all the safety data sheets, all the important like fire safety hazard, teaches them about the safety hazards and where all the equipment is and where they go, and how to like use them. I think that's an important thing, especially for management, because if anything happens, everyone's going to look towards the manager for help. So the tour of the building, knowing where everything is at, is an important thing. And also introduce them to the staff, introduce to the people that they are going to be working with. I kind of say working with than working over, to have like, that connection with your staff. I think that's an important thing. With this, I like, from my experience from work at least, they do this all in like the same day. I know in the instructions they say expand over 2 weeks, which I have it here. Expand over 2 weeks. I just kind of like doing from my like personal thing. I think that's the point of this, I think. If I'm understanding it right. But yeah, but that's day 2. So between the 3rd and the 10th day, which is about a week, I think that's 7 days, yeah, which is about a week. Really just showing them how the front is ran, or at least how I want my front to be ran. Showing them how to do the deposit, and how to open the front in the morning if they want the morning shift or midday shift. Stock and also know how to stock and clean for the night crew, which I think is very important, at least from my experience from McDonald's. I think it's important for the morning crew to help the night crew because they affect the night crew heavily. And then for the night crew, for the night manager, I should say, night crew, night manager, show them how to close, if they decide to do a closing shift. Do the deposit too. I think it's good for both morning and night managers knowing how to do the deposit, and setting up for tomorrow at night. So setting up for tomorrow during the night. So how to set up for tomorrow. Spelling errors I see right now, but yeah, that's at least between days 3 to 10. So between day 10, or I should really say day 11 through 20, is seeing how I think I have that backwards. I think no, I got this right. Yeah, seeing how they do the register, record recipe, and bus tables. I think that should be like honestly, that should be between 3 to 10. Honestly, saying like how they do that. But seeing how to seeing how they work, basically. See how they handle things, see how well they perform in different situations. What is the relationship? How are they working with the kitchen staff? Is also a big one. And how good are they? Are they following of how I want my front to be ran? So basically, yeah. Honestly, I think the manager training should be a little bit longer than that, so they, get used to everything. But yeah, that's what I have, Mr. Glatt. I appreciate you watching. 11 minutes. As I was editing this, it's like 12 minutes right now. But I know if I deserve a 0 since it was due on Monday night. And I finally like turning in. I realized I did a lot more work now than if I just asked for help. Like I did the slides, and then even though they weren't completely done, and then I recorded a video and edited a video. So I just did like a ton more work over that. Now that I realize that, find that funny. But appreciate you watching this, Mr. Glatt. Hopefully you're having a good day today. And I see you soon, or see you whenever, I guess.